Welcome back to Alco on the Internet. Okay, so tonight I'm reacting to a video and it's called Top 10 Times Talk Show Hosts Made Celebrities Uncomfortable. Leave me. Some of these talk show hosts, some of these questions are like, some of them just will not let up. They keep on picking. What can I say? But I'm not too sure which story is going to be on there. But I'm curious to find out. So without further ado, I'm about to get into his reaction.
I really don't love, honestly, I have to be honest
Yeah, but
with
I
you.
mean, I totally understand, and I agree that some people don't like it, but a lot of people laugh at it. And
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times talk show hosts made celebrities uncomfortable.
We actually all did a pole dance that night, the four of us, and only mine got shown. And
Yes, but you don't want to take your clothes off.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to
I've
our
got that
channel
photo.
and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're going to be looking at the Cringe Fest sit-down talk show segments. The interviewee and probably interviewer would rather co-sign to the cutting room floor. Are our picks classic pants or massive pants? Sound off in the comments.
I'll be the judge of that.
Number 10, Alex Zane gets under Avril Lavigne's skin.
Oh, I've seen this one.
World. With all due respect to the presenter and interviewer Alex Zane, he is no Zach Galifianakis. His attempt to produce awkward and cringy moments within his pop world aren't anywhere near between two fins-esque funny.
If you ever did bring out a perfume, what would it smell of?
Probably one of my favorite flowers or something like that. I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
By this point in the T4 show's run, Zane's predecessor, Simon Amstel, had already reduced Britney Spears to tears and threw the Kooks into self-exile with his dry hosting style.
Now,
Oh,
he
wow.
proposed to you in Venice. That must have been nice, although I've heard it smells of eggs. Did that not ruin the romance at all?
Zane's attempts in
What?
replicating that humour included asking Lavigne if Venice smelled like eggs when she was proposed to there, and if she could
I bet
cry
Venice it
tears
didn't.
of milk as a party trick.
Can you knife throw? No. Juggle cats?
She's
A
thinking,
very awkward
get me
Lavigne
the fuck out of here.
may not have got Zane's surrealism, or more likely did, and found it as funny as everyone else. Number 9, Peter Andre dodges Katie Price question. Good morning, Britain.
I don't
It's
blame him.
really down to the full interviewing team at GMB for making Peter Andre look as uncomfortable as he does
Oh,
here.
wow.
There's nothing wrong with that.
During his interview, an earlier segment involving the mysterious girl singer's ex-wife, Katie Don't Call Me Jordan Price,
Fuck's
was
sake.
great, showcasing her complaining over his refusal to let their kids, which they share custody of, into the limelight.
How do you respond to the allegation?
Piers, you should know me by now that I don't talk about these things publicly.
As Andre is quick to retort, he keeps them out of public eye for legal reasons, thus avoiding an uncomfortable interview from sweating it out even more. The only thing that would have made it more awkward is if they revealed how much people actually cared.
It's a legal issue, so it shouldn't.
Here's why you could not get with somebody who's famous.
Number 8
Because they'll be asking you about
somehow
them loads.
here's Lorraine's awkward side. Lorraine. Okay, we're kind of flipping the script on this one, as it's hard to tell who is the more uncomfortable of the two here, the interviewer or the interviewee. Surprisingly, it's also a moment that took place on veteran talk show host Lorraine Kelly's self-titled program, proving that the awkward turtle can come for us all. In this instance, the Scottish Inquisitor
been
is
that, surely.
interviewing Geordie Shore alumni Charlotte Crosby about her autobiography, Me, Me, Me.
Charlotte's funny though.
it's so normal now.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it really isn't.
It doesn't take long before the conversation turns to an intervention over Crosby's bedwetting and her unwavering attitude towards how normal it is.
You know what?
Wow, yes, normal. Has she not gone binge drinking before, like, in her younger years? Damn. If you were Jill Get, especially if rape still early. I'm not gonna go that there, but just saying.
No, okay, well, look, that's fine. If you're
TMI, I know,
look,
but
if you're
I just have to
happy,
say it.
that's
Some
absolutely
person worries about things
Lorraine does manage to steer everything back to lifestyle, but there was still a wee bit of cringe left over.
But you can get help. There is help out there.
But
you can.
what would the help be?
Number 7, Jonathan Ross makes an awkward proposition. Friday night with Jonathan Ross. We have to give Gwyneth Paltrow some serious props here, because her poker face is sublime. Perhaps a little too good, because her ability to play off Jonathan Ross's rather untoward comments perhaps spurred him on to do it more.
If you want to have sex, I'll phone my wife. If she gave me permission, I would you yesterday.
The fuck?
Paltrow, who was married to Chris Martin at the time, was on Wassie's show to promote 2008's Iron Man. Was the MCU's first really that long ago? During the course, Ross
Can't believe you
asks
said
if he
that.
can bed the actress if he gets his wife's permission, and the interview continues to be laden with entendre and seemingly accidental innuendo.
Because you know what? You are so nicely.
That's so cringe.
You're gagging for it.
That's so cringe.
Paltrow wasn't fussed, but the BBC
That is more cringer than this clip I saw, right? It was Whitney Houston being interviewed. Don't know what the show's called. Don't know who the host is. But it's not even the interviewer that made it cringy. It was the person that was with her. It was her and this French guy, and he goes, "I want to fuck her." I think he might have been drunk. I don't know. Maybe high. I don't know. But this is on that level cringe. Maybe that one's probably more cringe, only by a small margin. But that's just my opinion.
Trust pulled the late night show host to task over the interview.
Hang on.
What the
Number 6,
fuck?
Jonathan Ross makes an awkward proposition again.
What are you-
Friday night with Jonathan Ross.
Can I call you D?
Why is he propositioning people? Oh my god.
Give David Cameron some serious props here. Although that's not a phrase you may find being said very often. The former Prime Minister
True.
was the then soon-to-be PM when he was invited to join Ross's show on a Friday night. The interview itself went rather smoothly, as interviews with prominent politicians can be rather divisive.
Margaret Thatcher. In a carnal fashion. As indeed we all did.
However, Wassie drew the ire of Tory party members when he asked Cameron if he had ever, well, had impure thoughts of a former party leader and Iron Lady Baroness Margaret Thatcher.
They voted for these.
He should have pleaded the fifth.
Thinking of Thatcher.
Clearly embarrassed, David Cameron took the line as a joke and quickly pressed on before running for Prime Minister and initiating Brexit.
Okay.
So, probably not a career highlight then. Number 5, Graham's question
He took like a
sends
pro.
Cara's awkwardness miles high. Comic relief.
Not
If you
comic
were to watch
relief.
any of Graham Norton's earlier material, you'd know that he's no stranger to dancing the line between too far and not enough.
Having sex on a plane.
I know people drinking my house.
clearly.
Though there is no one in the world who could ever say a bad word about the presenter, we're pretty sure Cara Delevingne certainly thought a few during this special broadcast of the Graham Norton Show during Comic Relief 2017.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know how to start the story.
When asked about her experiences of joining the Mile High Club, and if you don't know what that is, then you'll have to ask someone else, poor Cara had to remind Graham that her dad was in the audience.
But,
Oh,
but,
wow.
Cara, but you were doing it, and then a man was
My
watching.
father is here.
My
by
first
the
one's
way.
one night
Sorry,
stand.
Dad.
I know what
Number 4,
Mile High Club is.
with the ex's baby. Good morning,
Huh?
Britain.
Very good morning to you.
Bonjour. Well, good morning. Zabak? Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
It's understandable if you thought that Jean-Bernard Fernandez Versini, a man with double barrels in his name, was an actor and not a restaurateur. That is, of course, if you knew who he was in the first place. JB didn't so much as find fame, but have it thrown at him thanks to his 2014 hot-footed marriage to Cheryl Tweedy /Cole /Fernandez Versini /Just Cheryl. The couple broke up in 2016, but for some reason GMB's Richard, shock celeb interviewer, Arnold, felt the need to ask JB his thoughts on Cheryl's new baby with Liam Payne during an interview
Why?
at the Cannes Film Festival the following year.
Do you have a message for Cheryl?
Why do you have to ask that?
Well, you know what? It's the 70th Film Festival. We might as well focus on this film festival and making it the best possible. First time with my venture here. Yeah. And
JB's straight face may not say much, but his lack of congratulations was telling.
Thank you very much for joining us.
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
That's so
Number 3,
awkward.
opened by a difficult question. Good morning, Britain.
Well, I'm talking about the Wham bit.
I don't mind talking about them. It's not pertinent.
To many, Andrew Ridgeley is not a household name, but put him together with the late great pop star George Michael and Wham! You get Wham! The singer who passed away on Christmas Day 2016 considered bandmate Andrew Ridgeley
Rest in peace, George
to be a
Michael.
confidant in their days together singing about Tropicana clubs and Christmas's last. So it stands to reason that Ridgeley wouldn't be overly impressed when constantly pressed for details on his friend by repeat awkward interview offender Piers Morgan.
Obviously, an
course it
extraordinarily
is.
big moment it must have been for you as well. How have you and all his friends dealt with the period since he's died?
I would imagine much like anyone else.
I still refuse to play for premium.
Ridgeley does play it cool, but you can see his frustration at being sideswiped by the line of questioning. He then tweeted a thanks to everyone but Morgan for the interview, which the latter didn't take kindly to. Piers Morgan offended?
You really don't like talking about the past, right?
Well, I wasn't sure that was why I was here today, to be honest with you.
Shocking, we know. Number 2, off to a terrible start, Eamon Holmes. This morning,
What is the surprise to you now that you're out as to how you're perceived?
They didn't get on Bear's case that much, though, did they?
Ian felt like we're only...
Did they?
Number 1, that Helen Mirren interview, Parkinson. Though it's hard to watch this interview now without considering the body of work that both participants have built up, there's no denying that the 1975 interview between Michael Parkinson and Helen Mirren is infamous for all the right reasons.
But do you find, in fact, that this, what could be best described as your equipment, in fact, hinders you, perhaps, in that pursuit?
I'd like you to explain what you mean by my equipment.
From the introduction, which paints a less than stellar picture of the actress, to the questions regarding her physical attributes being a hindrance or a help, it wasn't long before the conversation was labelled as sexist.
Let's talk about nudity, not clothes. Let's talk about the fact that you, in fact, have taken your
Don't you never
clothes
seen a
off
naked body before?
the screen.
There is an argument that Parkinson was trying to cut through the perception that people had of the classically trained performer, but hadn't gone about it the right way. Though there's no denying Helen Mirren certainly exemplifies elegance and intelligence here.
Have you ever you must have obviously considered that point and wondered why perhaps it is?
What?
You agree with our picks?
God.
Check out this other recent...
Some of these interviews, I cannot, bruh. Jesus Christ. Nah, the ones that I just put for the ones where they ask about their exes, like, dude. Dude's like, I get that their exes are public figures or whatever, but it's like, but it's like, why? They're not there to talk about their exes, they're to talk about something else. Like, what is it? Like Cheryl's ex-husband, and the guy's there asking about his ex-wife, so to have a kid. Why? You knew this time, but you still, I mean, you had one job, and you just fucked that up. You fucked that up by asking the dude about his ex-wife. Seriously? Come on. Jesus. This is why I could not interview people in person. I'm just lucky the jobs it's been trying to get people to do surveys over the phone, right? Because doing it face-to-face is like a different ballgame. All I can say is you need to choose your words wisely if you're going to be interviewing people, right? But that's just my take. It was a good video though. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like, subscribe if you want. I post if whenever I feel like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.